for in Game 5. From a distance, you are looking at the United Center, now inside where 4 championship banners hang. With a win tonight, the Chicago Bulls can go down in history with their 5th title in 7 years, and you'd have to go back to the Celtic championships of the 50s and 60s to get a run like that. And it's the big 2 in the playoffs again for Jordan. You look at the percentage of the team's points, Bernard, and these 2 guys are the only guys in the playoffs who are even averaging more than 8 points a game for Chicago.
Well, those are the 2 guys that have carried Chicago for years. They've had support players around them, pretty good players at that, but it is the play of Jordan and then Scottie Pippen that determines how far the Chicago Bulls will go. And they would like to close it out here at home, Game 6 with the fans. Karl Malone, on the other hand, is going to have a huge first quarter to carry his ball club, and Stockton is going to have to emerge as well. 12 is going to emerge here tonight for his team on the Chicago's floor. Is it going to be the Utah Jazz of Game 2 when they were blown out, or is it going to be the team that responded in the last Games 3 and 4? That's what he's looking for, that type of effort from his club here tonight. Jordan, however, has other things on his mind.
Well, the Bulls have been known as a closeout team throughout their postseason history, but the fact is, in the finals, in closeout situations, they're 4-3, which makes them almost a 50-50 bet here in Game 6.
I think that would be appropriate if they were playing on the road. I think, however, playing at home is certainly the satisfaction of knowing they went into Utah and did their job by winning 1 ball game and coming back home.
The Chicago Bulls welcome the world's greatest fans to the United Center and the 1997 NBA Finals. Tonight, Game 6 is between the Utah Jazz and your Chicago Bulls. Now, let's meet tonight's starting lineup. First, for the visiting Utah Jazz, at 1 forward from Long Beach State, 6'7" Brian Russell. At the other forward, 6'9" from Louisiana Tech, Karl Malone. At center,
should just about do it for our introductions. There are tonight's officials, another veteran crew of Bennett Salvador, Joe Crawford and Stan Javy. You saw the introductions. Now let's give you a look up close. The backcourt of Stockton and Hornacek. Malone, Ostertag, and Russell up front. Hornacek and Russell need to provide something. They were just 6 of 21 from the field in Game 5 for the Bulls. You've gotten used to seeing these faces. Jordan and Harper in the backcourt. The colorful Dennis Rodman along with Luke Longley and Scottie Pippen up front. Phil Jackson and Michael Jordan. What will become of them after this season? Both free agents of sort. The latest word we're hearing is maybe another one-year deal for each of them and one more shot at a championship run.
Well, certainly after the performance in Game 5 by Michael Jordan coming off the sickbed, scoring 38 points and leading his club to victory by carrying them on his back, we know he's going to be signed to another year, and I think that Phil Jackson, in all likelihood will return as well. Utah also has a number of free agents that they're going to have to work with right after this season. But right now, what's of concern is trying to win this series.
Michael Jordan's numbers in the NBA Finals, I would say they're worthy of another MVP of the Finals if Chicago could continue on for their 5th title.
Well, Jordan spent all day yesterday in bed resting as the remaining members of the Chicago Bulls got together with the coaching staff to formulate their game plan for this game here tonight. However, there's not much need to be done. They know everything that's going to be done on the part of each ball club, and they're familiar with each offensive set. So you're going to see probably a few different breakers, but not too many major changes.
38 points for Michael Jordan in that pivotal Game 5 win. We are underway in Game 6, and the Jazz control the tip. They are wearing their road purple uniforms.
Very important that Jeff Hornacek basketball gets off to a quick start. He had foul trouble in the last game, 2 quick fouls.
Malone got it in pretty deep. He missed the turnaround jumper. Pippen will bring it up for Chicago.
Expect that Chicago will look to push the ball very aggressively in transition once they rebound.
Harper on top, looks to reverse it. Instead, will shoot the 3. Greg Ostertag with a rebound and a foul over the back on Chicago's Luke Longley. So Greg Ostertag has come up big to start the ball game. There's the field goal numbers for their big 3. And you can see the notable drop-off in the second half.
Well, Stockton alone was not able to carry their club efficiently in the 4th quarter. As a result, they had a letdown going down the stretch. Chicago dominated down that end of the floor.
That was John Stockton on the drive and turning the ball over. John Stockton averages 17 points, 12 assists, and 3 turnovers in the wins, 4.7 turnovers, and only 8 assists in the loss.
Well, Chicago has some very big players out front in terms of Ron Harper and Jordan and Pippen. And those guys run at Stockton, taking away his court vision, not allowing him to pass the basketball.
Shot clock running down. Harper on the drive. The long-distance finger roll, reminiscent of the Iceman.
Well, it looks like Ron Harper is trying to get off to a great start offensively, which is going to open up the center of the lane for Jordan.
Stockton going baseline, and he lost it off his foot. 2 turnovers already. Uncharacteristic Jazz and Stockton ball.
It's very rare for Stockton to have 2 turnovers consecutively, but what Chicago's doing is forcing him baseline, and he's attempting to come back to the middle, and as a result, you got those 2 turnovers, and the Utah Jazz will play like Karl Malone and Stockton.
Jeff Hornacek picks up the foul for Utah. That is his first and Utah's first of the ball game. Jeff Hornacek uncharacteristically shooting 37% here in the 5 games so far of the NBA Finals.
Well, Stockton and Malone had foul problems in the last game, the first half, and each of those players were taken out of their rhythm.
Off the loose ball, Pippen threw up the air ball from the baseline. Ostertag corrals the loose one, and it's John Stockton bringing it up. Utah yet to score. 2 minutes in, Stockton forced a 3. It wouldn't go. Pippen has his second rebound.
That's a tough shot. Typically, you don't see John Stockton pull up in transition and take the 3.
lost it on the drive. First Bulls turnover. Stockton challenging and gets the lay-in. We're tied at 2.
Scottie Pippen let him go because John Stockton, being the veteran that he is, was looking to draw a foul against Scottie Pippen.
2.5 minutes gone in Chicago. Longley backing his way in, blocked by Ostertag, who had 3 rejections in Game 5.
Ostertag played big in Game 5. Also had 15 rebounds.
Long distance jumper won't go. Malone and Ostertag fought over it. And Stockton comes out of the pack with the loose ball.
Chicago having some problems here very early in scoring in their half-court set.
Russell missed the 3. Pippen another board. And he traveled as he tried to come out of there with it. So each team now has turned the ball over twice.
It appears that Chicago is attempting to get comfortable again here at home. They were on the road for a week in Utah, and so they have to get used to these surroundings again.
4 shooting for both teams. Hornacek off the screen, guarded by Michael Jordan.
Look how far Malone is out on the floor, away from the post area. Good defense by Rodman.
And another turnover. That time Longley came up with the steal. Only 2 field goals made here in the early going. Harper back to Longley. Stripped away by the helping Hornacek. 3 turnovers apiece. Each team has 1 more turnover than points so far here in the 4th.
That's a shot that Byron Russell typically takes, but it's a wise move on his part to set it up and find Malone.
That 3 by Hornacek was partially blocked by Scottie Pippen. Jordan says, hey, let's set up. Now quickly into the post. Longley kicks it out to Rodman. From beyond the arc, that was a brick. Stockton the rebound and the push out for the Jazz. Malone on the baseline. Shoots the turnaround, short.
Good defense by Dennis Rodman against Karl Malone in the last possession. He contested the shot, and of course a very bad shot by Karl Malone.
Fade away on top is missed by Michael. Another rebound for Ostertag. He had 15 boards in that Game 5 loss. You mentioned how well he played.
Well, certainly had a very big game, but both of these ball clubs seem to be very tight at this point. No one is running the offense very smoothly.
Stockton used the screen, gets to the baseline, and lays it home. John Stockton has all 4 Utah points. There's only been 6 points scored combined for these 2 teams. A goal gone in this first quarter, and we only have a total of 6 points scored. It's a 2-point Utah lead. Neither team is shooting the ball well at all. In fact, each team's turned it over 3 times each. And Ron Harper, who you pointed out as an important defensive player as far as combating John Stockton, those are his numbers, and you're really not going to judge his impact based on points.
Oh, no, not at all. He's not called on to provide a great deal of offensive production, although he's capable of doing just that. His job is to defend in the backcourt, and at 6'4", he has the quickness to stop John Stockton from penetrating.
Stockton does have all 4 of Utah's points. First quarter action of Game 6 of the '97 NBA Finals. As usual, Mark Brown along with Bernard King bringing you the action. Pretty turnaround jumper from the baseline for Pippen, who's now on the board, and we're tied at 4.
On this check, for the most part, has done a nice job against Pippen down on the low blocks, but Scottie in Game 5 is able to post him up.
Malone continues to be open in Game 6.
Well, Malone is rushing his shots. He had a poor second half in Game 5, and Scottie Pippen is taking advantage of the mismatch against Jeff Hornacek.
Did it from the right block last time down. This time goes to the left block. Scores each time and made it look pretty easy at that.
Utah has out-rebounded Chicago throughout this series.
Inside to Ostertag, who took it out, now wants to back in Longley. That is a long-range jump hook, and Pippen has another rebound.
When Utah starts looking at Greg Ostertag for their offense in a pivotal game like Game 6, they're in trouble.
Ostertag bothering the shot by Longley. Russell came in for the rebound. Now it is Jeff Hornacek. Stockton in the corner, bounces in deep to Malone, who scores and gets the foul on Longley. That's what Utah wants to see.
Now, that's the type of post-up that you need out of Karl Malone, but you see here Scottie Pippen, Jeff Hornacek does everything he can to get up the ball to that shot. However, Jordan Pippen at 6'7", all he has to do is take his time, show some patience, and shoot right over the top of Scottie Pippen. Hold on a second.
Michael and Scottie provide the bulk of the Bulls' offense, and here is what they've done from the regular season and round by round, and the highest percentages have come in the last two series.
Well, those two players, they feed off of one another. They've played a long time together, and they understand what each like to do on the basketball floor. And when Jordan is cold, Pippen looks to carry the club. And right now, Jordan's looking to conserve his energy, and Pippen is looking for his shot.
Karl Malone barely drew iron on that free throw miss. We are tied at 6. Luke Longley picked up his second foul on that play against Malone, so he is on the bench, replaced by Brian Williams.
Brian Williams is a better offensive player than Luke Longley.
Off the pull-up, Jordan hits.
Well, Jordan is looking to shoot the basketball at this point. He realizes that his club is off to a slow start, and so I look for him to pick it up aggressively.
Howard Eisley is into the game. And point guard replacing Stockton on the drive. The mailman drives in and draws contact. For the last couple of times down, a more aggressive Karl Malone.
Well, you take a look here at Jordan against Russell, and Jordan simply lit Russell up in game 5 coming down the stretch, and he's got it going here in game 6.
Michael Jordan has just 2 points of the Bulls' 8. Malone hits his first free throw of the day. He has 3 points, and at the free throw line in the 13 wins, he's gone 10.7 times a game and a respectable 76%. You can see the drop-off in the losses.
Well, what happens is when he goes to the line more frequently, it puts pressure on Chicago's interior defense to come back and double team from the perimeter. And then what that does is open up the perimeter shooting for Utah for their spot-up shooters.
John Stockton getting his customary break for the last 5+ of the first quarter. Howard Eisley has filled in admirably and does in this instance, coming up with a loose ball. He will take it up across half court and set up Hornacek. On the move, just inside the arc. He nails the 3. Utah takes back the lead.
They need good shooting out of Hornacek in this basketball game. He didn't provide any offense in game 5. Utah, they need to hang close in this game and hopefully take it down the stretch.
Well, that is Karl Malone's first foul, but again, it was out on Scottie Pippen.
Now watch here, as Pippen goes to spin, Malone actually gets his hands on the basketball. Eisley picks it up, and as a young player, he finds a spotting up. Hornacek in transition, does a nice job of knocking it down.
Jordan in between 2 defenders. Michael's got 4. We're tied again.
Michael shot that basketball as he was drifting. However, he kept his eyes focused right on the rim. He was able to get 2 points out of it.
Howard Eisley working against Harper, and the foul will go on Harper as Brian Williams came over to give a little shove to Howard Eisley. Bennett Salvador is talking to Eisley to calm him down, and we've got a technical foul called on Williams. He came over after the whistle and gave a little bump to Eisley.
Oh, there's a great deal of contact made there as Eisley drove to his left. You take a look here. Eisley penetrates against Ron Harper, and right there, Brian Williams doesn't even go for the basketball. He meets Eisley with an elbow to his forehead, and that simply is not the way the game is meant to be played. And that's what Howard Eisley was upset about. Consequently, Brian Williams gets a technical.
And rightly so, as Hornacek steps to the line. He's got 3 points. Eisley's been quite productive coming off the bench at only about 10 minutes a game. But he's been aggressive, and he's been a big part of the Jazz success here in the finals.
Well, he has a real understanding of how to run an offense and where to position his players to maximize his skills. And right now, he's trying to take advantage of pick and roll.
He set up the baseline drive and kicked it out to Russell, who stepped into the 3. So there is Eisley again, playmaking and helping the Jazz.
Russell came up big in game 5, although Utah lost. He was able to contribute 11 points. He's just got to play great defense here tonight against Jordan.
4-point lead's the largest of the game for either team until Brian Williams delivers the monster slam.
Well, you had a chance to see the agility of Brian Williams, and he's playing very intense basketball thus far here in this game.
And it's Eisley. They've worked the left side a lot. He pulls up just inside the arc, missed a long jumper. Contested rebound between Russell and Pippen. And we've got a loose ball foul. It will go against the Bulls.
Watch this move, a little fake to his left. Brian Williams across the middle against Ostertag, and he finishes the way it said it's supposed to do, taking it strong to the basket.
The foul will go against the Bulls. Brian Williams, so he's picked up a tee and he's picked up a foul.
Now you have 2 fouls of Brian Williams and 2 on Luke Longley. I think that Phil Jackson will remain with Williams because he's playing well at this point. He's providing some offense and he's playing very physical basketball. As Steve Jaffe attempts to tell him why he called that foul.
Greg Ostertag missed his first free throw. He gave as good a performance for Utah as anyone in Game 5. He had 13 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks. They're all NBA Final and playoff highs.
Oh, that's a big game. However, I expect that from him every night. He has those kind of skills, and anytime a center does that to your team, is somewhat teasing you. He can provide production on a nightly basis.
Once we've seen him do it, now we've come to expect that type of performance.
Absolutely.
Karl Malone pretty much said that between games 5 and 6 to the young center. Jordan, rather Pippen off the fadeaway, and another rebound for Ostertag. Here comes Jeff Hornacek. He will pull up on the break for 3. Hornacek is finding the range. He now has 6 points, and it's the largest Jazz lead of the game at 6.
Well, Utah has to get some runouts. What they're doing is they're limiting Chicago to 1-shot attempts.
Scottie Pippen on the move, slashes to the basket with the left hand, and he was fouled on the way in. So Scottie Pippen taking matters into his own hands. He will shoot free throws when we come back, but momentarily, it's Utah by 6.
The art of wrestling.
Hornacek has sparked the Utah Jazz to a 6-point lead. Pulling up for a jumper just inside the arc and then just outside the arc. Look at what he's done in the finals. Not bad the first 2 games and game 4, but 3 and 5 were very tough. He struggled shooting the basketball.
Oh, Hornacek's play is very important because he has a great outside shot. He also has the ability to put the ball on the floor, and it would keep Jordan busy if he looks to take his shots in this basketball game.
Jeff Hornacek says he's been bothered by a sore left knee, but he says the sorer it is, the better he's shot. So I guess it's not feeling too great tonight.
Well, it forces you to focus anytime you have pain going into a basketball game. And I'm sure it makes him a little more intense, and as a result, he concentrates on the shooting a little bit more.
Scottie Pippen leads all Bulls scorers at the moment. He's got 6. Utah pitching a shutout on the fast break. That's a good sign for them. Eisley handling against Harper. Gets baseline again. Pull up, tough little runner for Howard Eisley.
Nice move on the part of Howard Eisley. He's taking advantage of what Chicago's offering, which is the baseline, not allowing him to get over the top and into the middle, and he takes advantage.
Jordan off the up fake. Hornacek quickly out to Eisley. 10-4 Jazz run. Hornacek fakes Michael. Michael pokes it away. Good Bulls defense, but somehow Malone ends up with it. Russell was open momentarily in the corner. Eisley missed him. Now he finds him. And Russell can't knock it down. Rodman comes away with a miss.
Chicago has to be very careful and not allow Utah to develop too much confidence in this basketball game. They're deflated from game 5 as a result of that loss. And if they start to feel that they can win this game, Chicago will be in for a battle here tonight.
Jordan against Hornacek. Shot clock down to 4. Michael knows it. He'll shoot the 20-footer. And Rodman and Eisley battled for the loose ball. Last touch by the Worm. So Utah will take over.
We've gone almost an entire quarter here in the first, and we have not seen an offensive rebound out of Dennis Rodman thus far. He's not being able to aggressively attack the glass like he's done in the past.
1 minute, 20 seconds to play in the first quarter. Entered inside to Ostertag. Rolling hook. Rebound by Williams. Quickly out to Harper. Jordan on top. Now Harper swings it to Pippen in the corner. Gets the screen from Williams. Gets into the lane. Adjusts, challenges, and is fouled on the way in.
Foul on Ostertag, and he's going to have to go to the bench. As a result of that foul, and Greg Foster, his replacement, will come in. As you know, he had a big game in Game 3 with 15 points.
Scottie Pippen will go to the free throw line. He's 2 for 2 on the ball game from the stripe. Tony Kukoc checking in for the Bulls. And Greg Foster checking in for Utah. Pippen gets his 3rd straight from the line. He's already got 5 rebounds early in the first quarter.
Well, Pippen has had a great series in that area. He's averaged just over 8 rebounds a game throughout the series. And he's done a nice job of taking up and picking up some of the slack as a result of Dennis Rodman's lack of rebounding effort.
Pippen has accounted for all of Chicago's free throws, 4 for 4, 8 points, and it leads all scorers.
Well, we know free throws was a big difference in the last ball game, particularly Jordan getting to the line.
Utah's done a better job shooting the ball after a cold 2 for 9 start. Michael Jordan is on the Bulls bench. Dennis Rodman will pick up the foul. That is the first on Dennis Rodman.
Looking at Jordan on the bench, he doesn't seem to have that weakness in his eyes that you saw in the last ball game, and he doesn't look to be very weak. So it appears that he's overcome whatever virus he was suffering from in the last ball game.
Jeff Hornacek misses his first free throw, and that's news in itself. He shot it at 90% during the season. And those numbers represent a significant drop-off for Jeff Hornacek from what he's done during the regular season.
And we certainly know that the playoffs and the finals provide a great deal more pressure than the regular season.
Steve Kerr is checked in for the Bulls. He has it now and swings it to the corner to Harper. Harper off a screen. Reverses it to Pippen. Guarded by Malone. Now Kukoc beyond the arc. And a foul on Greg Foster as Kukoc tried to work his way in.
I think that Tony Kukoc has the ability to take Greg Foster off the dribble, forces more comfortable around the basket defending, particularly against guys like Longley and Brian Williams.
Tony Kukoc was a key performer in that Game 5 win. Only 9 points, but he was 3 for 4 from beyond the arc, and they all came at big spots.
They were crucial baskets, there's no question about it. Then there was fine passing on his part. You can see his playoff career, he's averaging 10 points, just over 10 points a game, and he's been an important element for Chicago coming in off the bench.
Karl Malone getting his first rest of the game. He's replaced by Antoine Carr. An important substitute, but over the last 3 games, just 2 points total for the big dog.
Those numbers have been declining because Greg Foster has been getting the big dog's minutes after that major performance in Game 3. Jerry Sloan let people play him a bit more.
End of first quarter. It's been Isley's time. He sets up Hornacek, who wants to go into the big dog against Jason Caffey. Working hard. Turnaround jumper. Antoine Carr equals his point output from the past 3 games. The Bulls can get the last shot. Pippen on the drive. Tough runner, won't go. Hornacek came down with a rebound. He'll have to hurry from 3-quarter court. Hornacek's effort is short. However, it's been a good first quarter for Howard Isley and the Utah Jazz. They come into a must-win elimination game, Game 6, and have taken a 6-point lead at the end of the first quarter. Come back with us as we get ready for the start of the second.
There's only one place to be seen.
Chicago, Illinois, home of the Bulls. is the site of Game 6 of the 97 NBA Finals. We will crown another champion in the NBA right here on ESPN. The only question, who will it be and when? John Stockton is back into the ball game to start the second quarter. Shandon Anderson has also come off the Utah bench to join the lineup. I'm Mark Brown along with Bernard King. We're happy to bring you the 97 NBA Finals right here on ESPN. Jordan returns to the lineup as well for the Bulls.
Well, Jordan only has 4 points in this game, but remember game 5, he has 17 in the second quarter as he looks to get up to a quick start during a foul against Russell.
Now the wily Michael Jordan got Russell lifted in the air, jumped right into him. Karl Malone continues to get his rest. He's got 4 points in the ball game.
Well, that's a concern to me, simply because I thought that Malone would come out and have a major impact in the first quarter, looking to make a statement that his club indeed has an opportunity to win this game. And I don't think that Utah can win without Karl Malone playing big.
1 of 2 for Jordan. Stockton is trapped and had it knocked away by Kukoc, but it remains Utah ball.
Well, anytime Stockton gets trapped like that, someone else has to make themselves available, as Scottie Pippen of Chicago has a chance to take a rest because Michael Jordan is on the floor.
It's Kerr guarding Stockton, quickly inside to Anderson, posting up on Michael, and Jordan gives up the foul.
That play came directly in from the bench by Jerry Sloan. It's a good call because you want to make Jordan play some defense, and so far he hasn't been forced to play defense one-on-one. And you need to attack him, and Utah has done that with Shandon Anderson, who missed game 3 and 4, as you know, as a result of the death of his father.
And he has been welcomed back by his Utah teammates, and he's got 2 points from the line here in the second quarter. 7-point lead now for the Jazz. That's their largest of the game. The foul will go against Antoine Carr as he bumped Kukoc. A non-shooting foul, so it will remain Chicago ball. Judd Buechler, who has checked into the game for the Bulls, will inbound it. Brian Russell gets his first rest of the game, replaced by Chris Morris.
Chris Morris played big in game 5, had some big 3-point shots, total 11 points. And if he can come and give them sort of effort here in this game, Utah will be in good position.
Good defense by Anderson as Michael Jordan missed the turnaround. The Jazz can add to their 7-point lead. Into the post again to Anderson. Missed the layup that time, and Jordan's got the loose ball.
Oh, Karl Malone on the bench. Utah really doesn't have anyone that's a tremendous low post player. As a result, they're looking to put Shandon Anderson on the low block.
Tony Kukoc made a nice move in the lane, but he missed the layup with his strong hand, and Utah will take over. John Stockton guarded by Steve Kerr. Wants the screen from Foster, gets it, and a foul on Steve Kerr as he tried to fight over that screen.
One of the few times that John Stockton was able to actually get over the screen that was being set for him going toward the middle, something that Chicago has done a nice job of denying.
Stockton gets to the lane, bounce pass for Carr. Air ball on the pull-up from 10 feet. Buechler in the corner for the Bulls. They've missed their last 6 shots. Longley inside, draws a crowd, kicks it out for Michael. He misfired, and it will be a backcourt violation against the Bulls.
Luke Longley attempted to make the pass to Jordan. Phil Jackson realized that Longley, when he received the ball that deeply into the paint, that he should have went up and at least put it on the rim. If there's a miss, you have a chance for an offensive rebound.
Stockton sets up Carr, gives up the dribble, cross court. Chris Morris can't bury the 3. Jordan has another rebound. He and Pippen have done the bulk of the board work here in the first half for the Bulls. Buechler to Michael. Low post to Longley. Working in the lane. Gave it up. Another Bulls turnover. Anderson pushing in the open court, and he is fouled by Steve Kerr. So Shandon Anderson has come in for Utah. He has been aggressive offensively, and And that is part of the reason why the Utah Jazz have the early lead in Game 6. A 7-point advantage with 9 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the second quarter. You're watching Game 6 of the 97 NBA Finals. There is our scoring story for each team. Scottie Pippen also has 5 rebounds to go along with those 8 points. But it is the Jazz who hold the 7-point lead. The first quarter started out with some very cold shooting for each club. The second quarter starting out much the same way. 2 minutes, 15 seconds gone, and only 3 total points combined for both teams. And Longley's had some trouble when he's got it in the paint.
Well, it was great defense by big dog Anton Card down low against Luke Longley. And you can see there that Stockton pumps Steve Kerr out of position to come off that pick and roll play, denying him the basketball. Who said the game isn't physical?
Lots of contact, but John Stockton beaten Steve Kerr to the spot where he wants to go. Anderson's 3 for 3 from the line. And Jerry Sloan was in the background of that picture. He played defense like that in his day.
Oh, he was a great defensive player. There's no question about that. And being back here in Chicago is really exciting for him because his ball club is going up against a team that he played for many years.
8-point lead's the largest of the ball game for either team. Pippen's back in the game. He gets the handoff from Brian Williams. Now he wants Williams back in the post. 6 in the shot clock. Turnaround jump hook. Foster fighting and getting the rebound for Utah.
It's very tough for Brian Williams to back Anton Carr down in the lane. He should turn and face him with his quickness. He can beat him to the basket.
Stockton out beyond the arc. Shot clock's down to 8. Foster wants the 20-footer. Air ball. Williams has the miss. Long down court to Scottie Pippen, who snuck out ahead of the pack.
Utah is running with their back to the basketball in transition. That's a no-no at this level because you'll be burned, and Brian Williams does a nice job of throwing the baseball pass down the court.
They cut the Jazz lead to 2, courtesy of that Williams to Pippen hookup. Big Dog's double team finds the cutting Anderson, who holds off everybody with a strong move inside and scores. He's got 5 points.
Well, Anderson has provided a nice spark off the bench for Utah and helping them to pull out to an 8-point lead.
Williams wants it on the right block. He has it, palming it with one hand. Finds Michael inside, off the fake. Another fake in the foul. Won't go for Michael, but he will make another trip to the free throw line.
One of the things you should always do when you keep rebounding the basketball, the first place you should look is up the floor to see if you have a teammate open. In this case, Scottie Pippen was there because he was running hard in transition.
Brian Williams getting the assist with that nice long outlet pass to the streaking Scottie Pippen. Jordan is 2 of 3 from the line today. He's got 6 points to go along with the 4 rebounds.
But Jordan had a big game at the free throw line in Game 5, getting there 12 times, and that was a reverse of his effort in Game 4 when he shot 0 free throws.
Back to a 6-point Chicago deficit. Michael is fighting in the post, denying position to Anderson. Now it's Malone inside, gets it deep, and he is fouled. It was Scottie Pippen who came over to help out, and he will pick up the personal.
Now that's when Karl Malone draws fouls against the front line. Anytime his feet are planted inside the painted area, it should be either 2 points or he's going to the foul line. In this case, he was able to get inside the teeth of the defense, and he does a nice job of drawing the foul.
Just 1 rebound for the mailman. He is only 2 of 4 from the line, and in the paint's where he wants to be.
Well, in the paint is where he likes to be. However, he's done a nice job of shooting the ball from the perimeter as well. You see in the 2 wins, he's 13 of 20, 11 of 28 in jump shots. Look at the combination of jump shots that were missed in the 3 losses, 9 of 35.
Malone misses both, and the crowd loves it.
Karl Malone appears that he's playing very tight offensively here in this game. Basketball's a mental thing, and it looks like it's affecting him in terms of what occurred in Game 5.
Steve Kerr guarded tightly by Stockton inside to Williams, stripped away by Malone. It's Morris in the open court. It's a 3-on-2. Stockton down low to Anderson, leaves it for the mailman. goes left, can't get the roll, and Williams is there. A costly lack of conversion there for Utah. Quickly inside, Kukoc to Williams. It was stripped away momentarily by Malone. He's had active hands here in the first half.
Well, it's Karl Malone's credit. He's not capable of scoring some points right now because he's shooting the ball very poorly, but he's helping his ball club with excellent defense.
Tony Kukoc could not take advantage of the shorter John Stockton. Approaching the 7-minute mark. 2 of 13 now for Utah as Michael controls the long rebound. It's 3-on-3. He'll take his chances, and he scores. Michael Jordan showing why he's the greatest.
Well, it's been a very ragged game, but Jordan, once he gets past the foul line and penetrates, he explodes to the basket.
Anytime it's 3-on-3 with Michael Jordan leading the break, it's a mismatch. And he showed it. So the Bulls have been able to run out a bit of late, and they have gotten a 8-point lead in half. Still only 3 for 7. We expect that to pick up.
Well, Chicago hasn't had many fast break opportunities in this half. In fact, they've had 2 of those, and they were able to score successfully on each.
Karl Malone on the left block, out to Stockton. 4 seconds to shoot it. Malone, double team. They got to hurry. And Russell hits the 3. Did he get it off in time? They're saying yes. It sure didn't seem like it.
It certainly did. It appeared that the shot clock had gone off, but the officials obviously feel otherwise. That was a big shot on the part of Russell.
Sure was. He now has 2 from beyond the arc for all 6 of his points. Michael will try from long range. And Chris Morris pulled down the rebound. He will advance it himself. Russell has it again in the corner. Entry was headed for Malone, but it was knocked away by Kukoc. Michael Jordan has it now. But a foul in the open court as Russell was knocked down by Scottie Pippen. I don't think Pippen saw him initially, but he will be called for the foul.
Well, let's take a look at this. As Jordan looks to push the ball, Scottie Pippen attempts to set a little back screen against Russell, and he's picked up that foul mark.
I take that back. He saw him plenty good. 7-point lead. Russell, another 3. Brian Russell, all 9 of his points have come from beyond the arc. And just like that, the Utah lead bounces up to 10.
Well, coming into this game, Russell had attempted 26 three-point shots for 36%. So he's a very good three-point shooter as Chris Morris picks up a foul against Steve Kerr. You take a look at this here as Utah goes into Malone. Chicago's doubled. Pippen has a long way to go to get to Russell, and he knocks down that shot just as the shot clock expires. Now here on the right-hand floor, you don't see anyone in your picture of the Chicago Bulls there to defend against Brian Russell.
Steve Kerr was fouled on that drive by Chris Morris. That was Morris's first foul of the game. Steve Kerr's production is way down. So are his minutes here in the finals.
Well, he didn't score any points in the last game, but what he did do in the fourth quarter, he defended very well against John Stockton and limited him of penetrating and feeding off to his teammates.
Yeah, Steve Kerr not really known for his defense, but you make a good point there. He gave John Stockton a lot of problems in that key game 5. Here's Stockton, this time getting into the lane. He knocked over Williams. Now Morris has it. Bad interior pass and a turnover for Utah. It's Pippen. No numbers for Chicago. Scottie will enter it inside to Kukoc. He was fouled on the way in by Stockton, who has given up about 10 inches in height to Tony Kukoc.
Oh, that was a beautiful pass into the low post by Scottie Pippen. In fact, now my hands are itching. I could almost feel that one being passed to me. But Kukoc does a nice job of controlling it and then drawing the foul.
Tony Kukoc converting, and here are his numbers in the postseason. And they haven't been real good. He's been fighting injuries, but in the finals, shooting it at 53% from downtown.
Well, I think that's an important stat, is the 52% for Tony Kukoc, because when he does that, it opens up so many things for Chicago, particularly down the stretch. He has shot the ball very well.
Just 1 of 2 for the man that was known as the Spider of Split, from Split, Croatia during his European playing days. Perhaps one of the top 3 players in Europe ever is Karl Malone.
Too deep.
Foul by Williams.
Too deep. Brian Williams allows Karl Malone to get too deeply here. Shannon Anderson sets a nice screen there. Tony Kukoc stands up Karl Malone, but by the time that Brian Williams looks to recover, Malone is right into the paint where he wants to be.
It's not a contact sport, is it?
You look at the replay, though, however, those were baskets that Karl Malone was making in Game 3 when he had a big night. There was a lot of contact there, but it's the type of contact that he should draw to score a basket.
Karl Malone has missed his last 3 free throws. He has done extraordinarily well in the wins and has come up much shorter in the losses.
Well, he's their go-to guy, Karl Malone, offensively for Utah. And as he goes, so goes the Utah Jazz. And if he has an up-and-down type of basketball game, that carries over to the rest of his club as he continues to struggle in this game. Karl Malone can't buy a basket.
It's a 7-point Chicago deficit as they set up their offense. Rodman is checked into the game for the Bulls. He has the ball. He also got the last rebound. Jordan guarded by Malone. Shot clock running down. Michael. And a foul on the play. The basket almost went down anyway. Karl Malone got right up in the face of Michael Jordan, but he got a piece of the arm, according to Stan Javi. Michael will shoot 2.
He contested the shot in terms of Karl Malone. However, where all possible, you don't want to foul the jump shooter. And in this case, Karl Malone fouled Michael Jordan. As a result, he's at the foul line. Here's a look at the 2 top vote getters in the league MVP voting, and Karl Malone gets Michael Jordan on his wrist as he releases the basketball. He doesn't like the ball.
All in all, not a bad job reacting to Michael's moves, though, huh?
No, not at all. Pretty good defense on the perimeter for a big man.
10-point lead has been cut to 5. Thanks to 2 Michael Jordan free throws. He's got 11 points in the game. That leads the Bulls. Brian Russell on the move, pulls up with a tough 15-footer. Rodman has his 2nd straight rebound. Michael in the open court. Challenges, leads for Scotty. Off the fake, stripped away by Stockton, who tries to chase it down. And the officials will say last touch by Jud Buechler in that mad scramble on the sideline.
Look at the up fake by Scottie Pippen. He loses it. Buechler and Stockton is right there. What a hustle. The official even winds up on the scorer's table. You have to love it.
Everybody working hard on that one, and Stan Javi was right there to make the call. Turnover numbers, 8 already for Chicago. Extraordinarily high for them. Tough shot by Malone. Wouldn't go. Steve Kerr. Nowhere to go with the ball. Reverses it to Michael. Rodman faked the handoff and almost misfired for Michael. Guarded by Stockton. Jordan wants to go. Adjust. And that's about as errant an attempt from Michael Jordan as you'll ever see.
Well, he was attempting to take Stockton one-on-one. Karl Malone came over and forced Jordan to change the shot. As a result, Utah has the basketball. You see the field goal shooting percentage where both ball clubs.
Abysmal for both teams. Stockton off the screen, pull up for the 17-footer, and John Stockton has his first basket of the 2nd quarter. And an important basket it is as he gives Utah back their 7-point lead. We got 3:03 to play in the 2nd quarter. So really nothing working for the mailman here in the early going.
Subpar performance by Karl Malone, but Stockton has done a nice job of running the offense. He's using the pick and roll, getting into the middle of the lane, and as a result, Utah has their lead.
Oh, Michael was in rhythm for that 3, and he cuts that deficit down to 4. He has 14 points. Important here, Bernard, for Utah to go in with a lead.
I think it's very important. I think it's also equally important, however, that man there, Karl Malone, starts to emerge offensively so that he can give his ball club a degree of confidence looking toward the second half.
Maybe a nice hustle play, an easy putback like that can get him going.
Oh, dunk would suffice.
Luke Longley's back in the game. He kicked it back out for Pippen, had it knocked away momentarily by Hornacek. Scotty looked like he might have double dribbled. Malone gets up and clears away the miss. Here comes John Stockton. 6-point lead for the Jazz. Stockton probed the defense, then kicked it out to Hornacek. Guarded tightly by Pippen. Stockton against Kerr. Gets the screen from Malone. Kicks for Hornacek, who was fouled by Pippen. They're going to say the basket's no good, saying the foul was before the shot against Scottie Pippen, but Hornacek showing you what he can do.
Well, Hornacek's feet were still planted on the floor. However, Chicago's in the penalty situation, so he's going to the line for two. A very smart player, and he knows how to draw fouls.
Jeff Hornacek, there's one thing this guy can do, it's shoot the basketball, but in the finals, he's been quite erratic coming into this game, shooting at only 37%. There is David Stern, the mastermind behind this tremendous league that we know as the NBA. Two for two for Hornacek as he bumps that lead back up to 8. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, the Sony Stamina halftime report. Longley wants to work. Looked like he walked, but the mailman stripped it away anyway. Anderson will challenge two defenders. Went to the left hand, he couldn't get it. Malone was there, blocked from behind by Luke Longley, but not without the help of a foul from Big Luke. And that one might be number 3 on the big fella.
Chicago is not able to convert on the offensive end of the floor. And you can see here, Anderson goes hard against Kukoc. But watch there, Malone gets it to your pitcher. He does a nice job of coming up with the offensive rebound. Rodner was right there who could not yank down the defensive board. He misses another free throw, and right now Karl Malone has lost his confidence at the free throw line.
Well, he's been a much better performer at home, and so have been the Jazz throughout this 97 postseason. Karl Malone has been struggling from the free throw line. He almost single-handedly responsible for that bad percentage. He is now 3 of 9.
During the course of a basketball game, if you're shooting the ball poorly, it is something that you can correct. You make minor adjustments to your shot as the games continue to progress.
Michael rising in the lane, but he couldn't get the short jumper to fall. It is a 9-point Utah lead as we approach the 1-minute mark to play in the second quarter. Malone was double-teamed momentarily. Now it's single against Caffey. And Caffey went tumbling across the baseline. Well, we've got some bad news for young Jason. That foul's on him.
There's no question about it. A great deal of body by Jason against Karl Malone. Karl didn't have much offensive rhythm on that particular play. But what Utah has done very effectively in the last few minutes, they've run the floor very hard. And as a result, they haven't had to go up against Chicago's half-court defense as Karl Malone looks to set to attempt to make a free throw, and he can't knock this one down. And if he could have converted his free throws, you imagine the lead that Utah would have at this point.
It's 9 at this point, and Malone has missed 7 of 10 attempts from the line.
That alone would provide a 16-point lead, Mark.
Bounces back with that one, so make it 4 of 11, but 7 misses on the previous. Back to a 10-point lead. Ties the largest of the game for either team. Under a minute to play in the second quarter. Rodman has it. Now it's Michael against Anderson. Went between the legs. Shot clock running down. Jordan off the multiple fakes. Sets up Kukoc from deep in the corner. And Tony buries the 3.
Kukoc continues to shoot the basketball very well from three-point land. We know he's shooting 52%. And just under 27 seconds left here for Utah. They're going to go into a pick-and-roll pattern with Karl Malone and John Stockton.
We see exactly that. Stockton still has it. Gets to the foul line. Sets up Malone from the elbow. Karl Malone hitting. Well, he hit that one from the free throw line.
Well, he shot that one in rhythm. He had full extension on the release of the basketball.
Inside 10 seconds. Michael will create something against Anderson. Goes to his right, pulls up and hits with 0.6 left. Malone and Rodman in a little bit of a shoving match. Bennett Salvador jumps in, blows the whistle, and we get a double technical on both Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone. No shots will be shot on a double technical. Stan Javi explaining the situation to the mailman. So there's under a second to play, 0.6 exactly, and that's good enough for Karl Malone and the Utah Jazz. They are happy to have any type of lead, and we'll get another look at what happened here.
Well, there's been a lot of contact made throughout this series between Malone and Rodman. You can see the two of them battling there, and it's just a little stalemate. Double technical foul. You move on to the second half.
Time report is next, where the Bulls trail the Utah Jazz by 7 as we get ready to start the third quarter. Game 6 of the NBA Finals. And we take a look at our Adidas leading scorers for Utah. Karl Malone, the only player in double figures, but he's backed up quickly by Jeff Hornacek and Brian Russell with 9 points apiece. For Chicago, as always, Michael and Scotty.
Well, certainly, Michael and Scotty have combined for 26 of the 37 points for the Chicago Bulls. However, Chicago did get 9 points over their bench, with Tony Kukoc leading the way at 5. My concern for Utah is simply their free throw shooting, namely Karl Malone, only 4 of 11 from the free throw line. I watched him at halftime. He spent his entire halftime at the free throw line practicing. Then on the Chicago Bulls side, Dennis Rodman, 0 offensive rebounds in his basketball game, so he has yet to make his presence felt on the boards.
In fact, only 3 offensive rebounds for each team here in the first half. Perhaps another number of note, the Chicago Bulls, who are only turning it over 11.5 times a game in the finals, already have 10 turnovers in only one half. Utah doing an excellent job in that category with only 5 of their own.
They've protected the basketball, but Chicago also, on the other hand, has done a nice job defending against John Stockton. They've limited him to 2 assists in this basketball game. Big third quarters, particularly Michael Jordan. You can see those two guys together, Pippen and Jordan. And take a look at Michael Jordan's numbers. Points by the quarter, 4 in the first, 12 in the second, reminiscent of the last game when he had 17. Now look for Jordan to really push here in the second half to try to carry his club onto an NBA Finals victory.
He is healthier tonight than he was in Game 5. He has his crowd behind him. You would expect a bigger third quarter output than the 4 he had in the third quarter of Game 5.
Well, they can win the title here tonight if Chicago is able to make a comeback and win this basketball game.
Harper drove the lane. He lost control, but it was last touched by the Jazz, so the Bulls will keep it.
Good defense by Utah because Ron Harper was looking to pick up his dribble and dish off to Luke Longley.
They'll have to hurry. Shot clock is down to 6. Jordan slicing his way through the Utah defense.
Too easy. You can't allow Michael Jordan to penetrate from the three-point line at that and get a layup out of that. Someone has to step in front of him.
So the first basket of the second half scored by Jordan and the Bulls. Malone's got it on the low block. And the whistle is for an illegal defense call against the Bulls. That's the first of the game for either team.
Luke Longley was caught out of position down on the block. You can see here as both ball clubs leave the floor in the first half, Karl Malone and Brian Williams actually bumped one another as they were leaving the court.
Perhaps some messages being sent between those two physical players. Stockton, tough leaner, threw it hard off the glass. Rodman has his 6th rebound of the game.
John Stockton, he gets inside the interior of the defense. He looks to pass off, but there's no one in a position to receive a pass. As a result, he was caught in the air with the basketball.
7-2 Bull run, dating back to the second quarter. Quickly, Stockton to Malone. Pull-up jumper's good.
Those are easy baskets that Karl Malone needs to make coming down in transition, those little 10-foot shots. Because what happens is the defense would wind up running at you on the next play, and then it would commit him to the basketball on the floor.
Bulls into their offense. Harper Handley. Low post to Pippen. Advantage against Hornacek. Double team momentarily. Scotty went high off the glass from the oblique angle. Gets the basket, lost the foul. A frustrated Jeff Hornacek.
Well, we know that Scottie Pippen has a height advantage against Jeff Hornacek, but here he gets the bump. Ostertag attempts to block the shot. Nice little soft touch by Scottie Pippen using all of the glass to knock down the shot. 12 points. Big rebounding game with 5 so far.
Luke Longley hustles for the free throw offensive rebound. Scotty had a left-hand shot swatted by Ostertag. His second block of the game as Karl Malone gives us his decathlete impression. Jumping over the first row of spectators.
Oh, that's a big play. And Scotty gets into the lane. He puts it in the left hand. Ostertag blocks the shot. I feel sorry for those folks along that first row. Malone was fortunate he didn't make any contact with him.
Stockton had it poked away. 2 minutes gone in the third quarter. Stockton pull up from 19. Pippen's got the loose ball rebound, but he stepped out of bounds as he tried to save it in. So it will be Utah ball. Scottie Pippen had 17 points and 10 rebounds in the Game 5 win. 11 full turnovers. Brian Russell missed on a long-range shot. Michael's got another rebound.
One of the few transition plays we've seen out of Chicago so far.
Jeff Hornacek reached in as Michael tried to cross over, and Hornacek picks up the foul. That is number 3 on the 11-year veteran out of Iowa State.
Hornacek realized that he was beaten at the very last moment. He tried to reach for the basketball, picking up his foul.
A lot of interesting stories here. Jeff Hornacek was not a recruited collegiate basketball player. He walked on at Iowa State. He's made it in the NBA for 11 seasons. Another block from Ostertag as Longley continues to struggle. The mailman running the floor and gets fouled. So Karl Malone will go to the free throw line where he is just 4 of 11.
Karl Malone struggled in the first half with his shooting, whether it was inside around the basket or fadeaway jump shots. He couldn't connect, and even on his spot-up shooting attempts, he finally got one to go toward the end of the quarter, and at half that is. But his free throw attempts, look at the right-hand side of your screen, only 4 of 11 in this basketball game.
Doing the right thing, Bernard, to get to the line, though.
Oh, certainly, there's no question about that, but once you get there, you have to knock it down. And at halftime, he spent his time practicing his free throws and made those little minor adjustments in his release. And as a result, I'm sure his numbers will pick up.
No matter how many years out of the game you are, you can never miss 4 free throws in a row, would you?
I can't remember that far back.
So Malone gets both that time, so that's a good sign. Makes him 6 for 13 from the line.
Utah has forced Chicago to a setup game in their half-court offense. They can excel in that area, but Chicago's more comfortable in running the basketball.
A steal in the open court. Scottie Pippen up fake for Michael Jordan. And we've got a foul away from the basketball and a strange call as Brian Russell will pick it up.
Ostertag has to be careful as he looks for the cross-court outlet pass. You have to be aware of where the defense is. On the left-hand side of your screen, there's a great deal of contact between Russell and Pippen.
Couldn't see it from that replay, but the foul was charged to Brian Russell. Pippen setting up Harper. Now it's Jordan on the low block. Fading over the defense. Nobody else can take that shot and consistently make it besides Michael Jordan.
That's a shot that's very tough to defend. Once you get into the lane, you have to defend it with his arms straight up. Then you fade back away, creating spaces. Can't block the shot.
Malone partially blocked or maybe fouled by Pippen. In any event, an air ball, and Jordan's got it in the open court. Hesitation, goes all the way.
Sweet move on the part of Michael Jordan. A little fake to his left. The lane opens up. Does a nice job of getting to the basket, vintage one hand, Jordan.
A once double-figure deficit is down to 3. And away from the basketball, foul on Luke Longley.
Jordan had a big effort in Game 6, although he was sick, with 38 points. Here tonight, he has 22 points. In the second half, Mark, he's looking to step it up as the customary tongue is wagging. He gives you a little juke left, right, gets into the lane for 2 points.
Almost 4 minutes gone here in the third quarter. Hornacek. Malone had it poked away by Dennis Rodman. But that is a foul on the worm. Good news for him, though. That's only 2.
Well, Rodman's upset with himself. Certainly, he's bothered about the call for the official. However, he shouldn't have reached on that play because Karl Malone had him pinned.
Stockton has it out front for the Jazz. Hornacek against Jordan.
Cross screen by Stockton looking for Karl Malone, but look how far Malone is off the lane. Good defense by Rodman.
Nice pass, backdoor from the cutting John Stockton. How many times have we seen that one over the years?
A fine passer in terms of Karl Malone. Stockton moving very well without the basketball. Chicago didn't rotate on the weak side.
Utah struggling more so than the Bulls here in the third quarter. Turnaround jumper for Rodman, and Ostertag rips away the rebound. Stockton will take it in the open court. Sets up Hornacek from 20. Jeff Hornacek buries the long-range jumper. His foot was on the line, so called a 2, but it's back up to a 7-point lead, which is exactly what it was at halftime. Jeff Hornacek answering the call in Game 6. He's got 12, and Utah leading Michael and the Bulls in the third. Utah has done their best to hold on to this lead. It's been as high as 10. It is 7 at the moment, as the lovable looks to encourage the defending champion Chicago Bulls. They are in the huddle. Mike and Scotty have carried this club throughout the season, particularly in the postseason. And you can see what they've done. 34 of their team's 45 points here in Game 6.
Well, that's typical of Jordan and Scottie Pippen. However, the crowd has not really gotten involved in this basketball game, considering the fact that Chicago has a chance to go on and win the title here tonight. They haven't really given them much of a lift.
Brian Williams into the game. Goes to the left hand, was short on the little hook. Pippen got the offensive rebound, and he was fouled from behind by John Stockton.
The Utah is having too many turnovers here in the second half and allowing too many second shots by Chicago. Those are the intangibles that will allow a club to creep back into a basketball game.
For those of you who don't know, Scottie Pippen was not always this good. The youngest of 11 children from Hamburg, Arkansas. He was given an academic scholarship and became the team manager at small Central Arkansas University. He was only 6'1".
That's right, he grew. I remember playing against him as a rookie when he only averaged 7 points a game, but now he's one of the 50th greatest players ever playing league history.
What a ride it has been for Scottie Pippen. He grew 6 inches in his sophomore year, became a dominant collegiate player as a senior, started as the team manager. Can you imagine?
That's amazing. Hey, then consider the fact that Jordan did make his high school team in the 10th grade.
Dennis Rodman showing some perimeter defense as he drew the charge on John Stockton.
You see here the screen set by Karl Malone. Stockton wants to go right. It appeared that Rodman really didn't have his feet set. However, the officials felt that there was a charge by Stockton.
5 offensive rebounds from the Bulls. In this quarter alone, they had only 3 in the entire first half. Bad sign for Utah.
Combine that with the turnovers by Utah, it allows Chicago to build momentum.
Ostertag continues to be a force on the boards these last 2 games. Utah has not shot a 3 here in the third quarter. Screen and roll. Stockton to the baseline, off the fake. Shaw Leaner.
That shot is available for John Stockton as often as he likes. Anytime they go to the pick and roll, Chicago is content to send Stockton baseline.
Pippen off the handoff. Double team by Malone. Rodman way away from the basket. Cross court to Jordan. Challenges. What an adjustment by Michael.
Oh, beautiful feed by Rodman and a great play by Michael Jordan to get the shot off against Ostertag.
Malone being bodied up by Rodman. The foul will go against Dennis, but look at this.
Look at this short course pass by Rodman fighting Jordan. He hangs in the air, does a nice job of getting the ball to go in, and he's asking the official for the foul. But good court vision by Rodman did a nice grab as it appeared that there was some contact made on that play, and it could have possibly been a foul against Ostertag.
It sure looked like one, and that's what Mike was asking for. He wanted a shot at a three-point play. He'll have to settle for the two. He's got 24. Ron Harper checks out of the game. His third foul. And another foul away from the ball. This one will go against Scottie Pippen, and Bennett Salvador is saying, I don't want to hear it anymore. It will be Brian Russell going to the free throw line. That's number 4 on Pippen. He has been foul-free throughout the postseason, so this is his first time in the finals anywhere with significant foul trouble. He's got 4. We're still in the third quarter.
Russell, anytime he looks for his shot, and he's very aggressive, he starts to get everyone else involved, and they get out on the break, and he's very effective, as you know, from the perimeter shooting three-point shots, but also forces Jordan to play some defense.
Brian Russell is one of 2 Utah starters, along with Jeff Hornacek, who will be a free agent. Randy Brown is into the game for the Bulls. Pippen gets baseline, trying to throw it down on Ostertag, but they will call the foul on Ostertag. Those two have had their moments.
Well, we recall Game 5, the confrontation between Ostertag and Pippen. Pippen is a little upset about the last foul call made against him. He just simply takes Hornacek off the dribble, and right there, Ostertag takes the hard foul over the top of Pippen's head.
Well, they've called that a flagrant foul, Bernard, and I can't say I agree. That looked like a good play on the ball.
Part of the reason you have to realize that the officials are aware of everything that goes on in a series, and they know that there's been some problems between Ostertag and Pippen during this series, and what they attempt to do is to maintain control of the basketball game, and that's the reason for the flagrant foul.
So the third foul on Ostertag is a flagrant, so it was 2 shots and the basketball, so the Bulls will keep it with a chance to make this a big possession.
Could be a very costly play for Utah.
Jordan took it baseline on Russell, and Russell just reached out and grabbed it.
Well, Russell had to foul him simply because Jordan had him beat, and he was about to go up for an easy shot attempt. Russell takes the foul instead of giving up the easy, what appeared to be an easy 2 points for Jordan.
Phil Jackson is on the brink of his 5th NBA title. Michael Jordan is a huge reason why.
Well, there's no question about that, because he has the ability to get to the free throw lines. Look at the 3 wins. He's made 30 of 40 attempts and averaged 13 free throws per game during those 3 wins.
Michael Jordan continues to fill it up. He hit 2, and they're back within 4. Howard Eisley in the game of the point. Finds Hornacek, draws the crowd, back out to Eisley, guarded by Brown. Now it's Malone back to Eisley. Eisley off the Malone screen, draws the crowd, kicks to Hornacek. Shot, but it is a bonus situation, and Hornacek will shoot.
Utah moved the ball very nicely. They half-court set, forcing Chicago to scramble, and as a result, you had Jordan running at Hornacek, and he's able to draw the foul.
Jeff Hornacek grew up in the greater Chicago area, was an outstanding all-around athlete. His father is a coach of note in both baseball and basketball in the high school area.
It's so important. There are some players that have a tremendous impact on their club when they win, and Hornacek is one of those players. Anytime he gets over 10 points a game in this series, Chicago has gone on to win those. Utah, that is, has gone on to win the basketball game.
2 of 2 for Hornacek. He's got 13 points. second to Malone. Jordan gets baseline. Goes backwards against Ostertag. And the cleanup from Brian Williams.
Brian Williams comes up with the offensive rebound. Instead of rushing it, he takes his time, he gathers his feet together, and he goes up and gets 2 points out of it.
Well, Howard Eisley made the tough move to the baseline.
Jordan right here going up against a very good defender in Russell, but he gets right by him. And look at his reverse shot that Jordan attempts to get off. Williams coming in from the weak side. Ostertag doesn't block him out because he was there defending against Michael Jordan.
Well, this Chicago team noted for its offensive rebounding. Only had 3 in the first half. They have 6 already in the third quarter. As Eisley hits the first of 2.
So Chicago has come out here in the second half and played with a good deal of energy. They've attacked the basket in terms of rebounding the basketball and been very aggressive thus far.
Howard Eisley is 27 of 28 from the free throw line this postseason. Michael has scored nearly half the points.
That should come as no surprise at all. Jordan will always carry his club offensively.
Sets the screen for Pippen, now gets it back from the corner. Michael misses the 3, another offensive rebound for Williams, who was blocked by Ostertag. And Rodman got another offensive rebound, but the foul will go against Howard Eisley.
Utah is going to have to collapse into the paint and get on the defensive glass and deny Chicago the ability to offensive rebound and then go to the free throw line.
So Dennis Rodman finally getting himself going on the offensive boards. Now he's at the free throw line where he is not a good free throw shooter. He does get the first.
You know, he shoots 33% from the line in this series. You can see, forget about his point production. The 8 rebounds is awfully important. He also has 2 offensive rebounds in this game.
Karl Malone gets up to take away the miss on free throw number 2. 5-point Utah lead, just under 4 minutes to play in the third. Eisley is double teamed, looking for help. He's got it from Russell. Great ball movement to the cutting Malone.
That's Utah's number 45 play, when it spotted Karl Malone at the free throw line and looked to get him cutting through the lane.
Number 45 play, huh? You steal the playbook, partner?
Oh, absolutely. I'm always staying abreast of what they're running in their set half court offense.
Jordan is double teamed, doesn't matter. Triple team, has to give it up. And a 3-second violation against the Bulls, so it will be Utah ball.
Now you see here, Malone is spotted up high. The ball will go to the corner, and as it does, Malone is the reverse right down the center of the lane, and it gives them 2 easy baskets.
Utah has the 7-point lead. They're looking to add to it. They've made their last 4 in a row. Stolen by Michael.
Watch out.
Breaking out of the pack. 28 points for Michael. 12 of them have come here in the third. Stockton can only look on.
Well, he gets his rest here at the end of the third, and Eisley is going to pick it up. The Chicago crowd has gotten into this basketball game as Chicago looks to apply some pressure and force turnovers.
You can see that Chicago defense stretching out, starting to get into the passing lane.
Watch Karl Malone slipping.
4 on the shot clock. Hornacek's got to hurry. Draws the contact. Runs over Dennis Rodman. But it will be a blocking foul on Rodman. We will take a break here in the third quarter from Chicago. Utah struggled from the field. He does have those 4 fouls, along with 15 points and 7 rebounds.
Well, Coach Jackson has elected to stay with Scottie Pippen despite the foul trouble. Karl Malone trying to post up. You see Scottie Pippen here against Hornacek as he drives, and Rodman picks up a foul because he wasn't able to get over in front of Hornacek on his drive. Pippen is one of those guys that's been around a long time, and he knows the game of basketball. He knows how to play when he's in foul trouble, and I don't think you'll see him going through the lane as aggressively, trying to go over the top of his defenders to the basket. That's when you put yourself in a position to draw a charge. So I think he'll look to post up a little bit more against Hornacek.
Hornacek has 14 points. 7 of 8 from the line and counting. Makes make it 8 of 9. Back to a 7-point Chicago deficit. They run their offense. Pippen on top. Michael off the screen, wasn't open. Kukoc is in the game, he's got the ball, wants to go on Malone. Gets into the lane, stripped away again by Karl Malone. Howard Eisley in the open court, knifing to the basket, went to the left hand, but he couldn't get over the front of the rim.
You have to be careful against Karl Malone. Anytime he looks to drive into the lane, he's always going to attempt to strip the basketball because he's not a shot blocker.
Kukoc gives it to Brown. Now Pippen in the low post against Hornacek. Doubled immediately. 5 on the shot clock. And the whistle is for illegal defense against Utah. That is their first.
You can see here in transition, Eisley right there should have given the basketball to Karl Malone. He elects to take it himself, and he's unable to finish.
So a rare mistake here in the finals for Eisley. That is Greg Ostertag. He is going to take a break. Chris Morris has checked in to replace him, so Utah going a bit small by their standards. Kukoc drops it into Pippen against Hornacek. Gets the roll and the foul. Scottie Pippen, when he's had the opportunity on the low post, he's made a difference.
Well, we saw here in the second half that on the right block, Pippen makes a tough shot against Hornacek. Here on the left-hand side of the floor, he drops his shoulder, he gets the bump. He's actually behind the backboard as he releases the basketball, and he gets the 2 points out of it.
Scottie Pippen has 17 points. He's gotten to the line quite often, and 8 of 10 in his trips.
Chicago extending some full court pressure.
And a foul on the double team. Looked like a possible steal for Randy Brown and Tony Kukoc, but it will go against Brown.
Well, in the backcourt, in the open floor, it has to be a clear steal or strip of the basketball. Otherwise, the official will make the call if there's any degree of contact at all.
We have been in the bonus for some time. So Shandon Anderson will go to the free throw line to shoot, where he is 3 of 4 on the evening. Chicago crowd voicing its displeasure. It's a nice way of putting it.
I think it's very important for Utah to attempt to really take control of this basketball game and look to extend their lead, because you know that in the fourth quarter, Chicago is going to make a huge run at Utah.
5-point Jazz lead as we approach the 1-minute 30-second mark to play here in the third quarter. Pippen against Morris. Hands to Michael. Off the hesitation. Challenges. Missed the left-hand layup. Morris has it. Up court to Eisley. Breaks through the double team. Gets to the lane. Kicks for Russell. Oh, times of time for Brian Russell. He is his 4th from long range today.
Beautiful setup by Eisley, feeding Russell, forcing the defense to react. Russell was able to get his hands on the basketball as Chicago maintains possession.
Brian Russell's got 13 points. 12 of them have come courtesy of the long bomb. Judd Bushler checks into the game for the Bulls, replacing Scottie Pippen. Kukoc inbound for the Bulls. Jordan Whittle palming the ball. And a foul on Chris Morris. He hand checked the great one.
Well, anytime you have your forearm on an offensive player out on the wing, once the offensive player puts the ball on the floor, you have to remove that forearm and play straight up defense. Morris was guilty of a foul on that particular play. You see it scoring by Michael Jordan by quarters 12 in the third and 12 in the second. And he's looking to increase those numbers here in the fourth.
It is an 8-point Utah lead. Got to give them credit. They've come out and they've controlled this one throughout. They've let Chicago back to within 3 on one occasion. Michael got 1 of 2. He's got 29. 7-point deficit. Randy Brown is dogging Howard Eisley. Out front. Eisley drives, draws 2 defenders. Up the flare, and it was
tough shot because he was able to draw contact on that particular play. No call made by the official, and he scored this anyway. Heads up play by Isley.
Tipped away by Morris, but recovered by Jordan. Off the dribble, off the fake, against two defenders, threw up the brick. Morris couldn't track it down, Buechler can. He will fire! The shot clock was winding down. Jud Buechler.
Wow, big shot out of Buechler. To one, run down the basketball, then to be aware of the shot clock situation and shoot it and knock it down.
Slight differential between shot clock and game clock. Backup point guard Isley has been aggressive in these situations throughout the final. He better hurry. Gets the screen from Malone. Will pull up from two. Off the front of the rim. Morris with 2 seconds left. Fired up the prayer that wouldn't go. So we have come to the end of 3. And the visiting Utah Jazz continue to hang tough. Look at Howard Isley setting up Brian Russell. The Jazz have had the answer for each Bull run. So far, it's a 6-point Jazz lead at the end of 3. Come back with us for the start of quarter number 4.
7. Chicago looking to wrap it up and pick up their 5th NBA title in the last 7 years since Phil Jackson calmly looks on.
John Stockton hits the free throw. 7-point Utah lead. They've still got the ball. Anderson on top. We've got a kick ball violation on Scottie Pippen. That will reset the 24-second clock.
Interesting move by Phil Jackson, although Chicago's trailing. Jordan is on the bench.
Morris gives it back to Stockton. Malone against Williams. Double team. Stockton fakes the 3. Kerr is guarding him. Off the Malone screen. The bump from Kerr and the foul from Kerr as Stockton will go to the free throw line. The Big Four have been the story here in the finals. Michael and Scottie continuing to get it done. Huge numbers through 3 quarters.
Well, those guys combined for 47 points in terms of Scottie Pippen and Jordan.
12 points for Stockton. But the story for Utah has been some help from Brian Russell and Hornacek, who have 28 between them. And Stockton got both free throws.
Jordan gets his rest, and he's going to be entering the game momentarily. Utah is going to have to be carried by their big guys, their 1-2 punch of Karl Malone and Stockton.
Well, some nice offense there as Scottie Pippen rolled through the lane, took the pass, and was fouled by Chris Morris, who trailed the play.
Anytime you're trailing a play, you're already beat because your offensive player has 1 step on you, and that's all it takes for a great player like Scottie Pippen. And Chicago being a fine passing team, they're going to find him coming off those screens.
Scottie Pippen continues to produce. Free throws have been a big story throughout. Utah has gone more, but they haven't converted nearly enough.
Chicago right now extending their full court pressure, trying to take the basketball out of the hands of John Stockton.
Quick ball moving up court. Russell could not control as he stumbled out of bounds. He tried for the timeout, Bernard, and they wouldn't give it to him.
Well, you don't have the same decision makers on the floor like a John Stockton when they handle the basketball. And Pippen is the only starter on the floor offensively with Chicago as Phil Jackson goes with the rest of their bench.
Brian Williams has it. Now it's Kerr quickly over Stockton. Steve Kerr did not score in game 5, but he hits the jumper there. He has 4 in this game.
Nice recognition by Brian Williams, realizing that Stockton was in a help position to get it quickly to Steve Kerr, and Stockton was unable to recover.
Stockton off the Malone screen. Kerr still with him. Gives it off to Anderson, who missed the layup in traffic. Anderson wants a foul, but a rookie won't get a foul on the road to the NBA Finals. Pippen for 3! The Bull run has reached 7-0. They have pulled within 2 of the Jazz 2:17 to play.
Shot here in the fourth quarter to draw Chicago within 2, and he's done the job for Chicago with Michael Jordan on the bench getting his well-deserved rest.
Those two have combined for 52 of the 71 points for the Bulls. Jordan continues to catch his blow.
He'll continue to rest. Phil Jackson will leave him there as long as Chicago continues to make the run, hoping that the support guys can wear down Karl Malone and John Stockton just a little bit.
Stockton avoids the double team for the moment. Will work now just against Kerr, directing Malone for a screen. He sets it. Back to Malone on the baseline, who is doubled immediately. The Bulls are everywhere. 5 on the shot clock. Stockton missed. Tip wouldn't go. Brian Williams comes stumbling out of the pack with a rebound.
Swarming defense on the part of the Chicago Bulls, not allowing Utah to get good looks.
Brian Williams, who made that hustling play, now has it in the low post. Spins on Malone, spins back, stripped away by the mailman. But Kukoc got the loose ball. 3 on the shot clock. Williams has to hurry, does he know? Kukoc got it off. But Anderson was there for the rebound.
Brian Williams was unaware of the shot clock situation. Tony Kukoc, however, was, and he put the ball quickly, didn't connect.
Utah still leads for the moment. Off the turnaround, Malone misses. Bushler with a rebound. Judd Bushler getting quality minutes off that Bulls bench here in the second half.
Malone has to step up offensively for Utah. He's struggling right now. He's going to have to carry his team on his back offensively.
Kukoc kicks for Bushler. Now Kerr for 3 in the lead. He got it. Steve Kerr gives the Bulls their first lead since the first quarter.
Chicago, they're a big play team. They've been here before. Scottie Pippen is urging the crowd on, and watch the defense of Chicago as they look to take control.
Anderson breaks it down from on top, leaves it for Malone, who's blocked by Williams, but Williams will be called for the foul.
These are the type of shots that will take the heart out of a ball club as 2 Utah players attempt to get to Steve Kerr. And Jordan loves what he's seeing right now out of his bench. And he knows that they've done the job, and he celebrates, but it's not over yet, Mark.
Michael Jordan has carried this team to victory so many times in the past, including in Game 5 with those 15 fourth-quarter points and the deadly 3. He has been able to sit on the bench and watch as Scottie and the others took the lead here in the fourth.
Well, we'll see how long that's going to last, because right now there's good rhythm going for Chicago. Karl Malone continues to struggle. He can't make any free throws. Only 6 of 14 from the line. And Utah has to now deal with the fact that Jordan has re-entered the basketball game. In fact, arrested Michael Jordan.
Phil Jackson takes pride in the fact that he tries to play 10 and 11 players throughout the season so they're ready to be called upon. Judd Bushler was here in Game 6 as he hit a big 3 as part of the comeback. Malone salvages 1 of 2 to tie it at 74.
The United Central crowd is well into this basketball game. They realize that Chicago is right there. They possibly can finish the series off here the remainder of this fourth quarter.
And Michael is back in. He hasn't scored yet in the fourth. Pippen, double team, 5 on the shot clock. Kerr again, around and out. Brian Williams continues to hustle, but he could not control that loose rebound, and Utah will have it.
Brian Williams is very active for Chicago. He's everywhere. He's attacking the boards. He's trying to come up with loose baskets. Right there, you see the graphic. Utah has missed their last field goals because Karl Malone is unable to successfully complete his shot.
Reminiscent of Game 5. A tough rolling hook shot for the mailman who has suddenly awoken.
Well, that's what you need. You need to just get a basket, and hopefully that will change your shooting rhythm and get you in a form where you can start to make some baskets.
Utah has regained the lead. Michael spinning, stripped away by Stockton. It'll be Bulls ball underneath. But how about the mailman?
Oh, well, listen, in Game 6, you can't afford to give up the basketball when you're the #1 guy, even if you're struggling. When you get it in your spots, you have to take a shot.
Michael Jordan has been the #1 guy. Floating, hitting, tying it at 76.
Jordan had tremendous elevation on that shot. He has 31 points here in this game tonight, and he realized he comes off the close as Shannon Anderson misses an easy dunk. Scottie Pippen actually got a hand on it and forced the miss.
The Bulls can retake the lead as we approach the 7-minute mark. Hornacek can't stay with Michael. Had to bail out. However, John Stockton could not control. Michael ended up sprawled on the floor, but no whistle. It will be Bulls ball. Phil Jackson, Chicago coach, wants a timeout.
Watch the recovery by Scottie Pippen to elevate and get his hand on the basketball to prevent an easy dunk by Anderson of Utah.
Coach Jerry Sloan says it's goaltending, but it never left his hands. Steve Kerr has helped to spark the Bulls back into a tie in the fourth. 31 points and 9 rebounds, and he's not done. Pippen gets it inside. He was tied up by Hornacek, but they're going to call the foul on Utah.
They're saying that Scottie Pippen was on the floor there before the shot was attempted. As a result, the ball is to be taken on the side. Nice tie up by Hornacek.
There are 7 minutes to play. We're tied at 76. Jordan against Anderson. Pull up. Around and out, and Russell has the rebound.
Utah is now getting back on the defensive lines, attempting to limit Chicago to one shot.
Hornacek freed himself up with a three. And it's a 3-point Utah lead.
Well, the veterans of Utah, they're maintaining their poise, and they're attempting to win this basketball game here in Chicago and send it into Game 7.
Quick jump shot by Steve Kerr was off the mark, but at last hit Brian Russell of the Jazz. Tony Kukoc will inbound underneath for Chicago. Jordan gets by Anderson. Oh, just making it look too easy. He's got 33.
You have to keep Jordan out of the lane, cross him at least, and take the pull-up jump shot so he doesn't get to the rim like that.
Stockton against Kerr. Bounce pass back to Anderson. This time he fakes Pippen. Oh, he was aware of the block from behind this time.
Well, he alertly recognized that Scottie Pippen was there. He froze Scottie by giving him the up fake. Chicago, on the other hand, is going to look to go into Michael Jordan.
Anderson gives the Jazz a 3-point lead. Karl Malone went up for the contested rebound. He could not control it.
See here, Jordan just very easily gets by Anderson. Anderson is not quite the defender that Brian Russell is. However, he's been put on Scottie Pippen.
Utah has been given a delay of game warning. Next time will be a technical.
Suggesting you see Russell on Pippen, who had been defending Jordan, and Hornacek on Tony Kukoc.
Pippen had it knocked away on the cut. Officials saying Utah touched it last, so the Bulls will keep it. Joey Crawford's getting an earful from Karl Malone.
This is a very important possession for Chicago.
Rodman has it. Now it's Kerr. Kukoc.
Number 10 on the shot clock.
Backing in on Hornacek. Wonderful baseline spin from Tony Kukoc.
You can see that whoever Hornacek is defending against, whether it be Kukoc or Pippen, Chicago is looking to get the ball down into that man's hand on the low block.
Stockton handling against Kerr. Gets into the lane. Bounce back to again for Anderson. He blew the left-handed reverse.
That's what happens anytime you get your shot blocked. You start to hear the footsteps.
Jordan shaking, baking, and rattling it home.
Well, talk about footsteps. Jordan is delivering big time right now. He and Pippen are carrying his club as Chicago looks to extend their defense, and Pippen picks up his 5th foul against Stockton.
Well, Anderson, could he still have been thinking about Pippen from behind?
Oh, he certainly was, because when you have your shot blocked, you start to think about it. he could have taken this ball up. He had a protection of the rim by trying to go reverse. He should have taken it one more dribble, Mark.
The Bulls have retaken the lead. Brian Russell bounces inside to Malone. Double team, knocked away. Kukoc with the steal. Costly turnover.
Great defense, and what caused that turnover was Tony Kukoc at 6'10", extending his arms. Karl Malone couldn't see over the top of him.
Tony Kukoc was fouled on the way in by Brian Russell. In the 4 championships that have been won by the Chicago Bulls, they have never been pushed to the limit of 7 games.
You can see that Scottie Pippen was on the sidelines talking to Tex Winter, the man responsible for their triangle offense.
3 of their 4 championships were won in Game 6. Jordan with too much room, but he missed. Jeff Hornacek speeding it up for Utah. Brian Russell has the 3. Short, Steve Kerr, the smallest ball on the floor, got the rebound. Ball is loose in the open court. Who touched it last? It will be Utah who touched it last, so the Bulls get a break.
Jerry Crawford felt that the ball went off of Utah. He gives possession to Chicago.
So the Bulls momentarily hold on to that 1-point lead. A chance to add to it. Under 4 minutes to play. Kerr bounces into Michael. 5 on the shot clock. Spinning baseline, elevating. Michael has 37, and it's a 3-point Bulls lead.
Jordan backs in, he gets the contact. Once he feels the contact, he spins away, releases to Russell, and gets a nice shot along the baseline.
They've got a whistle away from the ball. It will go against Dennis Rodman, who is battling with Malone for position down low.
You can see here players just scrambling for the basketball, and it did appear that Shannon Anderson of Utah was the last one to touch the basketball. Watch here, you see the contact. Jordan spins away from it. When you get that feel of the contact, the defender can't elevate off the floor. Watch the battle down low between Karl Malone and Dennis Rodman.
Malone can't get any closer. Will have to shoot the turnaround, but he hit.
Oh, tough defense by Rodman. However, Malone is able to knock down the shot despite the great defense of Dennis Rodman.
Give Malone 21. A 1-point Bulls lead. Pippen off the screen will shoot the 19-footer. Jordan flew in to try for the rebound. He hits the floor hard. It will be a foul against Utah. The Chicago Bulls can smell their 5th NBA title. Michael has 37, and the Bulls have the slimmest of leads. Save the best for last. The Bulls came all the way back from a 10-point deficit. They did a lot of it while Michael took a break, but he is back in now, and it's the 4th quarter, and that is Michael time.
Oh, there's no question about it. You can see he's averaged over 10 points a game in the 4th quarter. He has 8 here so far in the 4th.
37 points.
What more could you ask of Michael Jordan and what he's delivered so far in this ball game as well as in Game 5?
He may need to do a little more, though. Almost 3 minutes left in this. A slim 1-point Bulls lead. Russell is guarding Jordan. Jordan goes baseline, pulled away by Brian Russell. But with 12 seconds left on the shot clock, the Chicago Bulls will keep possession.
Well, you can see how tightly Russell was looking to play Jordan. And they ran Russell off to the screen. He got bumped off, so Jordan's against Karl Malone.
Jordan, tough shot in the lane. John Stockton came in to get the loose rebound. These Jazz will not give up. Stockton.
Going to their favorite basic pick and roll pattern that's been so successful for
Hornacek from the top of the key. Hard off the iron.
Utah needed to nail that shot. Hornacek had a good look at the basket.
Jordan kicked it to Kerr. Now it's Rodman at the high post. Michael pulls from the elbow and drains the jumper. Give him 39.
Russell slipped to the floor on that play, so there was no one there to test the shot as Chicago pulls out to a three-point lead. This is coming up as a big possession game for Utah. They must score.
Quickly inside of Malone, splits the double team. Hornacek lost it. Russell, the three, Ryan Russell ties it at 86.
Oh, that's the biggest shot of Russell's career, and he calmly steps up and knocks it down.
Give him 17. We've played 5 games in over 46 minutes of Game 6. Each team has the identical number of points for the entire series. Pippen on the pull-up has to adjust. Tips his own miss. Stockton comes away with it again. Utah, as we approach the 1-minute mark.
The ball will wind up in the hands of Karl Malone on the left block.
As you like it. Fade away won't go. I didn't see a single purple jersey on the board.
The mailman did not deliver on that play.
We are under a minute left, tied at 86 for the championship. Jordan, no ball.
There won't be any fouls this time of the game. The officials will allow these two teams to play.
The Jazz are looking to force a Game 7. 40 seconds left. Steve Kerr has gone the distance here in the fourth quarter against Stockton. Inside to Anderson. Misses another layup. Shandon Anderson is a rookie. He has found himself open on the baseline throughout the fourth quarter. He has converted only 1 of his 4 attempts. The youngster may live to regret the fourth quarter. For now, we're tied. Scottie Pippen grabbed the rim when he was faked up in the air. Had the officials seen that?
Amazingly, you have 3 officials on the court, and Jerry Sloan is arguing the call, saying that, hey, Scottie Pippen pulled on the rim. But the ruling is that if it doesn't affect the shot, it's not a penalty.
Shandon Anderson has lived a lifetime in the NBA Finals. He lost his father to throat cancer just a few games ago. He missed 2 games. He's come back to be an important part of the Jazz run, particularly in this ball game, but he has missed 3 layups in the fourth quarter.
Well, with the score tied, the game on the line, 14 seconds left on the shot clock, you know who's going to get the basketball.
For now, it's Kerr. He gives it to Pippen. Shot clock is running down. Michael wants it. He's got it against Russell. He has to give it up to Kerr from 18 feet. Steve Kerr is money. The Bulls have the 2-point lead with 5 seconds left. In a play that is reminiscent of 1993 Game 6 at Phoenix. It's a 3-2 lead for the Bulls, and it was John Paxson. Today, it's Steve Kerr.
Well, Utah knew that Jordan was going to come over the basketball. He draws all of Chicago's defense. Stockton leaves a wide open Steve Kerr, spotting up for a shot. He knocks it down under pressure.
There are 5 seconds exactly remaining in this game. The Utah Jazz need a basket if they want to continue and play Game 7. If not, it's championship number 5 for Michael, Scottie, Phil, and the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, regardless of what happens here tonight, it's been a great series. Chicago has received a tremendous challenge, the greatest challenge they've had so far. As you can see, the running of Utah's defense, Steve Kerr wisely moves into position as the shot clock actually expires as that ball goes through the net. Steve Kerr has struggled throughout the series with his shooting, but he did it here tonight.
Bernard, Jerry Sloan has been questioned for not doubling Michael Jordan in this situation. This is the result when you do.
Anytime you double Jordan, he has the capacity to get above the defense defense, but also he has such great court vision that anyone's open, and it's a good shooter, he's going to find his teammate for an open shot. He has tremendous confidence in his players' abilities.
Roll back through the years. Greg Hodges, John Paxson, B.J. Armstrong, and now Steve Kerr, the spot-up jump shooters who make a living off Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen.
You have to have a spot-up shooter anytime you have a great player like Michael Jordan, because he's going to attract so much defensive pressure. Then he has the ability to beat your defense. And if you can have a guy that knows how to knock down three-point shots and can consistently get the two-point shot, then you've had a great find.
Here is another look from a different angle.
Jordan gets the pass because he steps through the defense. Most guys, when they're double teamed, they accept the double team. Jordan, however, steps through the defense as Stockton falls as he attempts to recover Steve Kerr. As Jordan goes right up to Steve Kerr and lays a high five on him, saying, way to go, man.
This has not been a good final series for Steve Kerr. We should point that out. Only 3.4 points a game. However, he saved his best for last. Now, Utah needs a two-pointer to tie. A three could win it. 5 seconds left. And the Bulls use their delay of game warning.
Well, the reason for the delay of game, Chicago wanted to get a look at what Utah was going to run from the sidelines out of bounds.
Here is the inbound. Knocked away. It's going. Poked ahead by Pippen. And Kukoc will run it out with the slam. 0.6 seconds are all that's left on the clock. But it's a 4-point lead, and that will do it. The Chicago Bulls, 97 NBA champions. They repeat and win their 5th title in 7 seasons. There is your hero.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated for the presentation of the Larry O'Brien.
The final 0.6 seconds on the clock, somewhere amid the bedlam that is the United Center, has finally been run out, and by a margin of 4 games to 2, your world champion Chicago Bulls.
Fame for Tiger Woods means Bull Coupe, and will start in Chicago as the NBA Finals Series builds to a dramatic conclusion.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Chicago Bulls welcome the world's greatest fans to the United Center and the 1997 NBA Finals. Tonight's Game 6 is between the Utah Jazz and your Chicago Bulls.
Back in front of their home fans and 3-2 up in the best-of-7 series, could this be the game that clinches a 5th NBA championship in 7 years for the Chicago Bulls? If it is, they'll owe a huge debt to Michael Jordan, who's carried the Bulls through the series, coming off his sickbed to score 38 points in the crucial Game 5 in Salt Lake City to deny the Utah Jazz 3 straight wins. Jazz need to win to take the series into a deciding Game 7. They build a first-quarter 6-point lead, Jeff Hornacek with the 3-pointer. Utah stretched 10 points clear in the second as Brian Russell shoots